Hey yo, Lion Cubs! Thanks to the number of people messaging me for the next part, here it is. Having escaped the vault at Gringotts, we finally get to the castle doors in time for the sorting ceremony. Professor Fig magics us a new set of robes and ensures we keep the details of our tardiness between us. At least for the time being. We get our first look at the headmaster and deputy headmistress as they conclude the sorting ceremony, and he comes over to see why we're late but is accommodating enough to let us in. It's finally our turn to be sorted into our house, and with a few questions from the sorting hat, we're in Gryffindor. Here's a little tip. You can change the house you're in at the beginning if you don't like the hat's decision. But to ensure that the house you want is picked at the beginning, you can do the quiz on the Pottermore site, now called Wizarding World, and link your account to Hogwarts Legacy. I did the quizzes to choose the house, wand, and the Patronus, and I can't wait to see them in the game later on. Just as we end the ceremony, Headmaster Black announces that due to a previous injury that happened last season, Quidditch has been cancelled in Hogwarts. And with that dark news, we head off to our common room, where Deputy Headmistress Weasley shows us the way, and after giving us the password, we go to bed.
You were a Gryffindor?
I am a Gryffindor. Never could remember the password when I was a girl, however.
Password?
Password?
The password is Grata Domum.
Grata Domum.
You may enter.
Well done. Now, go on in and get some sleep. You have a big day ahead of you tomorrow. I shall be back in the morning to collect you for your first class.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoy your first night at Hogwarts. Sleep well.
Waking up the next day, we get to explore the area for the first time. Having played the Lego Harry Potter games before, I spent a great deal of time just looking around and seeing what magical objects I could find and interact with.
Revelio.
Having spent way too much time exploring the passage, I finally get to the common room, where I get to introduce myself to 3 students. Gareth Weasley, the nephew of the deputy headmistress.
Hello, you're the new 5th year. Pleased to meet you, I'm Gareth Weasley. Heard about your travels here, can't believe it. Glad you and Fig are all right.
Nellie Ogspire.
Don't mind me. I find it helpful to change my point of view now and again. Put things in perspective.
And Cressida Bloom, a student who is currently working on non-verbal casting.
Oh, hello there. Welcome to Gryffindor. I'm Cressida.
Pleasure to meet you, Cressida.
Splendidly theatrical arrival to the sorting ceremony last evening. Made it in by the skin of your teeth.
Having met all 3, we get a message that Deputy Headmistress Weasley is waiting in front of the common room for us.
New Gryffindor, Professor Weasley's waiting for you outside the common room.
I could just have a buttermilk.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
She tells us that since we joined Hogwarts as the 5th year, where we're expected to sit for the OWLS at the end of the year, we received the Wizard's Field Guide courtesy of the staff and the Ministry of Magic. The Field Guide will be a learning tool to keep track of all we encounter and learn while at Hogwarts. We learn that using Revelio in the environment will let us find pages and challenges to be added to the guide. Following Professor Weasley, we find what could possibly be the most important thing in the entire game. We get to pet the cats.
No time to waste. You've classes to attend.
Equally important, but not really, we unlock fast travel by activating flue flames, found both inside and around the Hogwarts castle. After telling us about the classes we have for the day and about Hogsmeade, where we'll get our new school supplies, Professor Weasley ends the tour by asking us about the dragon attack. We answer that we simply looked for our supplies after they got lost and came to the castle, and find out that's exactly what Professor Fig said as well.
Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said.
On cue, Professor Fig shows up and gets us out of the discussion. After a quick chat with him, we get to our first class for the day, Charms.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
In class, we meet Natsai Onai, the class president, and Professor Ronan,
Shall we begin?
who teaches us our first summoning charm, Accio.
Accio!
After we learn the charm, we are taken outside to the grounds to put the spell in action. The professor creates a giant shuffleboard-looking platform with 3 spheres at the end called the Summoner's Court, and we attempt to summon the spheres in a way that they stop at the colors that give the highest points. After a quick warm-up, we are put up against Natsai to compete to see who can get the highest points.
You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us see this. There we go. Here.
Very good.
What?
The professor then places obstacles to up the difficulty.
Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Let us see this. There we go. Here.
That's it.
Ouch! Well played.
Very good, both of you. Well done.
Barely winning, we return to the classroom where we have a chat with Natsai, who says that she was a transfer student as well after her mother was offered the position as the divinations teacher. Before we leave the class, Professor Ronan tells us that the teachers have been instructed to teach us outside the classes as well, and we get a special assignment from each teacher. We then make our way to the Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson, where we meet Professor Hecat, who then teaches us our next spell, Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No?
And showed us how we can be used to disrupt yellow shields from our opponents during duels.
Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, it's both. Now, well done.
As a practice, we are set up against fellow student Sebastian Sallow in a friendly duel.
We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy.
Leviosa!
This can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
Protego. Is the case name?
I do enjoy lively duel.
After the duel, Sebastian stays behind to talk to us and tells us of a secret dueling club organized by the students and extends an invitation to us. Before we meet the club, I choose to see Professor Weasley because I really want to see what my wand will get to look like. We head to the Transfigurations classroom where we pet another cat and meet the professor. We are told more about Hogsmeade and pick a classmate to go with. Since we seem to have made such a good impression with Natsai, I chose to go with her. We are told that Natty will join us once we are done with Professor Ronan's assignment. A short walk later, we meet Professor Ronan, who tells us he'll teach us a new spell, Reparo, after we complete a few tasks for him. Our task is to find and collect flying pages using Accio, which we easily do.
Got it. Brilliant.
Reporting back to the professor, we learn to cast Reparo and test it out on the broken statue at the alcove.
It allegedly symbolized heartbreak.
Repair.
Perhaps a jilted lover thought it too accurate and lashed out.
And we try out Levioso on a nearby statue where we pick up a page for the field guide.
Leviosa!
Going through the castle to meet Natty, we meet Lenora, a fellow student who tells us about the empty picture frames, and we learn that by casting Lumos, something happens.
Something illuminating that solves the mystery. That spot must be a clue. I should look around in case it's nearby.
You see, casting Lumos shows us a scene within the castle which we have to go to. Finding a moth, we cast Lumos and take it back to the frame, which completes the picture and causes the frame to disappear.
Lumos. Let's get you back to your frame, little moth. I knew there was a connection. I should tell Lenora that I solved the puzzle of that empty frame.
We track down Lenora and tell her we solved the puzzle before we continue on our way to find Natty. After wandering through the castle and collecting more field pages, we finally find Natty waiting for us by the front door. Professor Weasley has already informed her to expect us, and she seems happy to guide us to Hogsmeade. We see the front of the castle for the first time as we follow Natty to Hogsmeade. On the way, I kept casting Revelio to find anything of use. During this mission, we learn more about Natty and her past. On the way, we unlocked a Floo Flame, collected lacewing flies, a live ingredient in potion making. We also see hippogriffs fly by.
Look, from the Forbidden Forest. Hippogriffs. I wonder if something startled them. I heard rumors that hippogriffs had been spotted nearby.
We run by the Forbidden Forest, collected leaping toadstool caps, and we found chests and other collectibles on the way.
Mr. Moon! He is the Hogwarts caretaker.
We run into Mr. Moon, the Hogwarts caretaker who wants us to run as the demiguise was spotted nearby.
Oh, it looked right at me! Eyes big as saucers.
What did Mr. Moon?
Jemmy, guys, ugly and hairy and terrifying.
Well, of course, he was quite drunk, so we didn't really pay much attention and we carried on. We finally enter Hogsmeade. I immediately run off to find more collectibles and pet more cats. Finally getting back on track, we are told where to go to pick up our lost supplies. My first stop is Ollivander's to finally pick up my wand. Having picked my wand at Wizarding World, that is by doing the puzzle, I was keen to see what it actually looks like. Mr. Ollivander gives me a quick breakdown on the family business and we look for my wand.
I'll be right with... Ah, it's you. Just a moment, please. Yes. Yes. Powerful core. 10.5 inches. You might do. Here, give this one a try. Well, go ahead, swish. How odd. Once more, come on, really swish it. Oh dear. Well, this isn't a good match at all, is it? There you are. Yes, I think you might be the one. Here, take it.
I learned that we can actually customize what our wand will look like, while the specs remain the same as in the Wizarding World website. After many minutes of going through all the options, I thought I settled for a 13.25 inch long natural warm brown elderwood wand with a dragon heartstring core. But in the process of picking, I actually messed up and picked up a yew wood wand instead. After checking online, it seems that the wand is permanent to the character I created, so I decided to make the most of it.
What do you think? Extraordinary. Another wand, another beginning of a bright and magical future.
Leaving Ollivander's, I find myself in front of Zonko's joke shop, where an array of fun stuff awaited. Having had my fun, I head to J. Pippin's Potions that was nearby. I meet Parry Pippin, the grandson of J. Pippin, who after a quick chat gives us the supplies for potion making along with letting us know that we can stop by to buy more supplies if we want. After a quick exploration, I head off to the Magic Neep to collect the seeds Professor Weasley wanted us to have.
Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the seeds Professor Weasley arranged for me to collect.
Ah, the dittany for the new 5th year. I take it that's you then.
A quick chat with Timothy Teasdale gets me the dittany seeds, and we find that we can also buy other plants later on. Finally, we head to Tomes and Scrolls, while taking a few healthy detours to collect more pages for the field guide and explore in general.
Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the spellcrafts Professor Weasley ordered.
Matilda's student. I thought I might be seeing you soon. I am the proprietor here, Thomas Brown.
We meet the shopkeeper, Thomas Brown, who gives us the blueprints for us to create our very own potting table with a small pot and small potion station. After a quick chat and a browse through his inventory, I head out to find Natty, but not before, you guessed it, more exploration. After chatting with more people, collecting pages, petting cats, and deciding on a look from all the clothing options I unlocked along the way, I finally meet Natty at the town circle. We have a quick chat, but not before we get to our first proper combat since entering Hogwarts. After a very drawn-out battle, we successfully defend Hogsmeade and even repair the damage done by the troll.
Reparo.
We are then introduced to Augustus Hill, who gives us a set of traditional school robes.
Augustus Hill, clothier extraordinaire. I should like to thank you for your remarkable bravery in fighting those trolls, and not to mention your help restoring Hogsmeade to its rightful state.
After deciding that my initial look was much better, Natty and I head off to the Three Broomsticks for a much-needed butterbeer. However, on the way we spy a suspicious character and we see him chatting with Ranrock. That reveals that the troll was a distraction for the hatted man, Victor Rookwood, to nab us.
I just watched a student take down your distraction.
Running to the Three Broomsticks, we meet Sirona Ryan, the proprietress who treats us and chats with us before we are interrupted by Rookwood, who demands we go with him.
No need for theatrics. I'm only here for this one anyway.
My friend is enjoying a well-earned butterbeer.
Only want a quick word.
Perhaps you didn't hear me.
But Sirona and the other patrons scare him off.
I said, my friend is busy.
With that, we head off to the castle to end our first and quite exciting day at Hogwarts. I'm gonna end this episode from here, but I really hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it and playing this game. If you want to see more content, just let me know and I'll drop the rest of it later on. Have a good day and game on!